As show business correspondent at the Daily Mail, I've spent the past 4 weeks out in Australia covering I'm a Celebrity, and here's what I've really seen. Alex Scott, when she arrived at the airport, was actually really nervous. There was a lot riding on her coming out of her shell this show. You know, her partner Jess Glynn said, you've got to go on it, you've got to show the nation what you're really like. And that didn't happen. She was actually voted the first out, and I'm told by people that she spoke to afterwards, she was actually quite dejected about her lack of airtime on the show and felt like she was slightly done over by it. But of course she was very distracted because Jess Glynn's mother is actually not very well, so she was very desperate to get home to the UK. Now usually what happens is the celebrities have to stay out their contract, which means they have to stay out in Australia until the show ends. Alex hasn't done that, quite understandably, and she raced back to the UK as soon as she could. So we've actually not really seen much of her out here on I'm a Celeb. Vogue Williams was the third contestant out, and I know that that was a bit of a shock exit for her, especially considering everyone really did think that she was going to get further than she did. I think she was kind of expecting to come out as a finalist, fly straight home, see her kids. Next out was Kelly Brook. Now, when she was going into the jungle, it was very much she was going to be a finalist, it was going to be the next Myleene Klass, have her white bikini moment. That didn't really happen for Kelly, but she's such a media pro, she has not let that on with anyone at all. In fact, she's been out the front of the hotel posing for pictures with fans, but also, you know, posing for paparazzi out on the beach. She's been having an absolute whale on the time, and it's not been lost on her the effect of this show. Her and Jeremy her husband are having a lovely time down the beach. She is not really bothered. Then we had Martin Kemp. Now, before Martin had even left the jungle, I've been told that he was very desperate to come out. I think he went in there having high hopes, didn't really work out for him. He realized he missed his family a lot and just decided to sort of sit back and, you know, come out when the public decided it was his time. So he was a bit concerned about how he came off, because obviously he's got a massive fan base and he was voted out early, so I think he was a bit surprised by that. Then we've got Jack Osborne. Now, Jack, when he arrived at the airport, it didn't get off to a great start with the press. He was quite dismissive, quite rude, but I mean, he just had a really long flight. It had been delayed coming over from America. But I get the sense this is very much a sort of transaction for him. Come in, maybe get the pay packet, come back out, go back home for Christmas, sort of like it never really happened. But he does say that he had fun. Tom was not expecting to get as far as he did. I know that he is quite overwhelmed by the response of what has been happening with him in the jungle. He didn't expect the public to love him as much as he had, but it couldn't have happened to a better person. He is the sweetest, kindest person. My favorite person to interview, actually. Just an absolute all-round delight. And then Shona McGarty had to overcome a lot personally in order to get into the jungle. So she, I think, is just happy to get to where she is now.